Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Jingle All The Way, one of my favorite Christmas movies, definitely my top 5. I'm just not sure where I'd place it, maybe in number 5 or 4. I know it's somewhere between there, because, well, you know which is my favorite soon. But yeah, I'd say this is like number 5 or number 4. Yeah, definitely a movie that I've watched, that I try to watch just about every Christmas, because I think it's like The Grinch and Jingle All The Way, which sometimes I might skip. Then there's ones that I'll always watch, which we'll get to later on, which are kind of obvious if you've seen them anyway. But yeah, definitely a movie I've watched a lot, like for so many Christmas years. Yeah, from a lot of my childhood. Yeah, it's only like a few times I haven't watched that Christmas, but most of the time I do. I just can't say it all the time. Like, well, I'd say two certain movies. But yeah, definitely one of Arnold's best movies. If I was gonna do a top 10, this is gonna be in it. If I ever do that in the future, like top 10 Arnold movies. Yeah, and Sinbad, who's also in the movie, like he's also equally good in this movie too. Like both of them together, they're just a great comedy duo. And why it always brings me back to this movie at Christmas. But yeah, I was gonna get in the main story right now, but I need to introduce the kid character, which is basically the reason of the whole story. Yeah. All right, so this is Jamie, played by Jake Lloyd. You most likely know him as the kid who played as Anakin Skywalker from the first prequel Star Wars movie. Yeah, that was like because I grew up with the movies with my cousin, so yeah, that was like the first thing I seen him in, and then I eventually got to see Jingle All the Way. Yeah, yeah, I must know him from. Mostly enjoy him in this movie compared to the first prequel movie. Yeah, even though like I don't think he was really that great of a child actor anyway. Not like Cobra Corkin. I think I said his name wrong. Oh god, basically the Home Alone kid. Yeah, it's not on that level, and it's not like Cobra Corkin. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I'm so sorry. Like I don't know if because he did have a few good movies afterwards, but like Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, then is I don't know if Richie Rich is definitely aged that well. There's My Girl. Yeah, there was a few afterwards after Home Alone that he's had good movies, but this kid, Jake Lloyd, I feel like this is the only one for me where I'm just like, he's okay in this movie. Like, it's not like I dislike him like in the prequel Star Wars movie because he just seemed annoying. Well, Jar Jar Binks, like, say if Jar Jar Binks was in the movie, he'd probably be the most annoying character. Jake Lloyd's character, Anakin, yeah, Kid Anakin. But yeah, he's okay in this movie, and is the reason why the whole story exists because basically he's a big fan of this Turbo Man TV show, and he basically really wants a Turbo Man action figure for Christmas, but his dad's like always busy and stuff, so he always because he can't even get to his like karate class which he has, because even his neighbor Ted, which we're going to talk about him, even makes it. That just shows how kind of a kind of a dad he is. But yeah, we'll get more into Arnold's character. So yeah, I'm going to talk about him now. So Arnold, aka Harold, is basically the dad of the movie. He's basically someone who isn't really able to be there for his son that much. So when he misses his karate class, the kid's really upset about that. So to make up for him, he tries to get this turbo doll, but let's just say he goes through a lot of problems to try and get it. Yeah, it's not that simple of a task for him. Like all the things he tries to do, and then he meets basically Sinbad's character, who gives him a lot of trouble as well, because they're both trying to get this turbo doll. Because man, let's just say they're a bit late to getting the turbo doll. And they're basically trying to get it for their sons, but they're both trying to do whatever it takes to get this turbo doll, like even to a point where Arnold's going inside a play area for kids, and a bit like basically one of these lottery things that will make him win the turbo doll ends up in these things, with all these balls. That area with the balls where the kids play. That it can dive into. He basically goes there and then he finds that a kid has it, and then you can kind of tell what happens if you've seen the movie anyway. You definitely know. But yeah, it's just funny that the kind of situations it gets into. But the most funniest, yeah, we need to talk about that one. Yeah, this scene. Yeah, the scene where he's trying to get a turbo doll from these people, basically buy it from these people who are just like selling it randomly. Like, did he really think it was gonna work out? Can't remember if he got this connection from his company. I can't exactly remember how he found him, but they basically tried to sell him a turbo doll, but it's actually fake. Like, it speaks Spanish as well, so they're trying to rip him off. He paid like $300 for it. And when he wanted his money back, this happened.
I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
Alright, so we're going to talk about Sinbad's character. I might pronounce his name wrong, so I'm just going to call him Sinbad. The actor's real name. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely the second most enjoyable character in this movie because most of that comes from Arnold. And there's also one scene with Arnold that I didn't mention, but we'll get to that afterwards. Yeah. So I just want to talk a little bit about, Sinbad's character. He's definitely, like I said, the second most enjoyable thing about the movie. Like, just all the things that he also tries to do to get a toy for his son. If he really was trying to get a toy for his son, or maybe in a way he was kind of still a kid and maybe enjoyed Turbo Man and just really wanted a Turbo Man action figure for some reason. Because we never actually get to see the kid, so that's what I don't know if some people actually think that. Well, fans of this movie probably think that he was the one who really wanted a Turbo doll and just lied and just made up a story about his son wanting a Turbo doll. Even though he does kind of say things about his kid in this scene where both Arnold and Sinbad's character are in the bar. So yeah, it's just like 2-3 scenes where you kind of need to make up your mind if he really is trying to get one for his son or it's actually for him because he's kind of still a kid in a way. Yeah, he does act like a kid a bit, so especially when he gets the ball and then just dancing around instead of, because if that was me, I'd be running away, not dancing around like a kid, basically. So yeah. So to me, I think the kid wasn't real, and he was the one who really wanted it. That's just my opinion, anyway. And we'll get to the end with what happens with the doll. Well, not the doll, the action figure, and how that goes. But yeah, there's that scene, probably the most famous scene in the whole movie, the cookie scene.
Who told you you can eat my cookies?
Oh, these cookies! I gotta get the recipe from Les.
Put that cookie down! Now!
Okay, so, yeah. As you can see in that scene, Arnold's not really fond of Ted. He's probably, the third most entertaining character in this movie. Well, he's more like someone who you wouldn't really want around your wife because, you can kind of tell that he's trying to get with Liz, which, is Arnold's wife in this movie. As the character that he's playing as, yeah, it just seems like he's trying to do moves on her, and for some reason, other women find him attractive, but Liz obviously doesn't. I just don't know what it is about him that makes them attracted to this guy. He's really good at stuff, so I have no idea if that has anything to do with it. But yeah, that cookie scene, lol. Yeah, it just seems like he's in his house a lot. He's actually taken over as the dad, and yeah, he's just slowly going away from the family. Because he was so distant, so distant from his family that it seems like he was taking over. And when it got to the point where, apart from the cookie scene, when he was putting on the star, yeah, he just wasn't having it. But Arnold did definitely cross the line where he tried to steal his kid's, Turboman doll. And I keep calling it doll instead of action figure. Sorry. Yeah, that's where Arnold was definitely in the one. Because, yeah, this guy was in the one with what he was trying to do with his wife. Because you could kind of especially in that scene where he was then gonna try and kiss her, but Liz just wanted to get away from him. After that, gave him a good slap, I think. Yeah, you could kind of tell this guy's intentions for the whole movie. Even as a kid, I could tell. Lol. Yeah, he is a fun character to watch. But, I prefer Sinbad more. Alright, so this is basically the turbo door that everyone's trying to get. I guess it has a lot of unique functions apart from, the thing talking as well. Imagine if it could fly too. Like, man, if I was a kid, I'd definitely want one of those. And they do show us, like, the show at the beginning as well. And sorry about that alert. It's just me getting in the Christmas spirit. Yeah. Sometimes it gets annoying, but yeah. It even has electronic lights and sound effects. Yeah. Yeah, if I was a kid, I'd definitely want these because back in my day, I used to get, the Action Men action figures. I used to get them all. I eventually broke them all, but yeah, because I was kind of rough with things as a kid. Yeah, so they didn't really last. But yeah, I used to get all the Action Men, all the toys. I'm just happy that I turned out, fine. I could have been a spoiled child, but I still turned out fine. Because most kids who get spoiled kind of end up spoiled when they get older as well. Yeah, someone wants to play GTA with me. But yeah. That's just my views on the action figure. And I guess I'm going to move on closer to the end of the movie. Alright, so near the end, he basically gets to a place where they think he's basically the person who plays as... Well, he's basically the guy who's going to be at the carnival playing as Turbo Man to give the Turbo action figure to someone, which kind of works out perfectly since he's able to give it to Jamie. But then Sinbad character basically dresses as the villain, mentor, or whatever his name is. And I guess nobody likes Gizmo or whatever that pink thing is from the show, because you see like kids kicking it. Lol, the guy in the suit, he must feel like, oh god, I hate this job. But yeah, they're basically mistaken Arnold as the actor who plays as, Turbo Man. So this was like his perfect chance to give it to Jamie then, but Sinbad's character shows up and takes it. So then he's trying to work out how, because he basically has a jetpack as well, which, yeah, there's a lot of moments in this movie that are very unrealistic. Like the moment where he's fighting that reindeer, which, what Ted has. Because he basically, breaks into the house, like I said, which was, Arnold's character's lowest moment in the movie. Howard's lowest moment. And then, like, you basically see him fighting the reindeer afterwards. Hello. And then at the end, when he gets found out by Liz and everyone, what he was trying to do, he's just, like, really angry at that point and then just knocks out the reindeer in one punch. And then he just goes, "You started it." Hello. And kind of has a drink of it afterwards. Then, that at the end, he tries to make up for things. Then he eventually, gets to the point where he's Turbo Man. And he basically takes on Sinbad's character and defeats him. And then there's like a cool scene at the end, which is, I wasn't really expecting that when I first watched it. Alright, so at the end, Arnold, well, Harold, not Arnold, because I was going to say his character's name. Harold basically reveals himself as Jamie's, dad, because he had no idea that, his dad was Turbo Man. And then Liz goes, "That's my husband." Lol. Because, she wasn't happy with him, with what he was trying to do before, but, now she's like, "That's my husband." And, Jamie's like, "That's my dad." Because he didn't really recognize him in the outfit. Because, after everything, like, Jimmy was sad with everything that was going on. Especially not, showing up at the carnival, because he really wanted his dad to be there. But then finding out that his dad's Turbo Man just made him really happy and put a smile on his face. I should have said it more like Joker, but oh well. But yeah, at the end, basically, we see Mentor, Demontor, whatever his name is, just walking away in shame. But then it seems like, I guess, Jamie could tell how much he wanted it, so he just gave it to him. I think he mentions his son as well, so yeah, Jimmy does the right thing and actually gives it to him. So in a way, that kind of makes everything that happened in the movie, just about everything, pointless. Apart from Sinbad's character, he gets the action figure. But yeah, so yeah, Jimmy just gives it away because he has the real Turbo Man as his dad. So yeah, he's so happy. But probably not going to be able to keep that outfit since he isn't actually Turbo Man. So yeah, they still got to have a good Christmas. But then at the end, Liz is just like, "So what did you get me for Christmas?" And he just does that face. Lol. But yeah, definitely a movie that is very underrated when it comes to Christmas movies. It just sucks that it doesn't really get as much love as Home Alone or Elf. The Grinch, well, I wouldn't say it's on. I don't say The Grinch gets the same rating as Jingle All The Way. There's still a lot of people who like The Grinch. I just know it isn't as big as Home Alone and Elf. They're the top two, which I've kind of revealed, but not really, because out of the two, I didn't really say which is my favorite. But I've kind of told you guys in the stream, so if you've seen it, then yeah. If you've seen me say it, then yeah. Also, there's like one more thing I missed before I end the video. So yeah, guys. Yeah, the cop, yeah. Because at the beginning of the movie, when he was trying to get to the, karate class, well, basically, doing the show thing, he wasn't able to make it because the cop pulled him over. And it kind of said things that makes it look like he was criticizing the cop. So, that made him late, and yeah, what follows. And then he encounters him again. Yeah, I think like later on in the movie where, Sinbad character says that he has a bomb. And then this cop just thinks it's a fake bomb. And then, oh my god. That scene now, I don't know if that's aged well, but since it's kind of like unrealistic, when the bomb explodes. It's like something that you'd see in a cartoon, where they're all black and then it just falls to the floor. Because in real life, I don't even have to say what would happen in real life. Let's just say he wouldn't be walking away and you'd be seeing him again at the end. Because Arnold's just like, oh my god, I'm saluting to Turbo Man when it's actually the guy who's been giving me trouble the whole day. The whole movie. It's just like, are you serious? Yeah, that's why his hands look like that, because, what happened. In real life, he'd have no hands. But yeah. Yeah, he was kind of a funny presence as well, but yeah. I guess that's my whole review of the movie. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen this movie before, I definitely recommend it, even though you kind of know what happens now. But this is mainly for, people who have actually watched it then. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my review. I'll see you in the next review. Peace.